fully aware of Hong Kong's local election record high turnout. This 3 million vote represent our discontent to the government and huge distrust to the Beijing authorities. The implication of this election are more than 85% of the seats in the council won by pro-democratic camp, but a sharp political message to the world that Hong Kong people stand with fellow protesters and our resolve to free election and independent investigation on police brutality. The significance of this election to the world is that Hong Kong's current political crisis must be resolved by political solution instead of crackdown of police with bloodshed and riot police force. These humble demands are denied by China since 1997. At the most frequent encounter of civil liberation. At first, I went protesting against the controversial extradition bill, exercising my freedom to assembly on June when I left the prison. The government arrested me and charged me of inciting people taking part in an unauthorized assembly. Then I went contesting in this local election on September. Yet the government banned me from running for office because of political censorship. I turned to international advocacy, planning to fly to Italy, explain to friends in Europe our democratic and peaceful cause. Regrettably, the court thought this parliamentary hearing is not important, and the judge rejected my travel application. And as I'm testifying now using video conference, I believe the Chinese Foreign Ministry is preparing another statement to condemn this parliament for inviting me with a so-called separatist who has never advocated independence. Following this encounter, it's clear now I'm deprived of the right to election, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, and freedom of speech. The civil liberties guaranteed the Constitution are, however, no longer applicable. The principle of one country system is a failure, and it guarantees global financial city with autonomy, but now it's already ignored by Beijing with their interference. Hong Kong civil society had become the target of revenge in the past 5 years. I was arrested for 3 times, prosecuted, and later imprisoned for my leading role in the umbrella movement. My colleague Nathan Law, the youngest lawmaker in Hong Kong history, was unseated and later imprisoned for the same reason. Besides, we also realized how the brutal crackdown continued. Especially last month, Chinese troops, not only ready to be deployed, they've actually deployed soldiers near university area with an excuse to clear the barricade of the street. It's important to voice out to the global community, which is an attempt to China's aggressive behaviors using international pressure. In the past 5 months, I took a lot of interviews from journalists all over the world who are interested in reporting Hong Kong. I would like to appeal to you 2 messages. Firstly, the police brutality is far more serious than what is reported. Pregnant women also got beaten by police. Young female protester was gang raped inside the police station and forced to abortion operation. I have to emphasize that violence against women is an affront to human dignity, and I appeal to international community to stop humanitarian crisis from bearing further in this global city. Secondly, there is strong and mutual trust among protesters. The battle in the previous month was not fought for electoral victory or international connection. The The election and international lobbying are aspects of our cause for sure, but comrades who sacrifice their life and freedom in this movement fight it with one single idea: to achieve our demands on free election and social justice. We, therefore, have a long way to go and shall never turn our heads on account of small victory on the election. As I mentioned above, I realize this feature are the important element when practicing democracy. With the mutual trust, transparency, people's mandate, and check and balance. It's just ironic that Hong Kong is far from practicing full democracy and free election under the authoritarian rule of Emperor Xi. To sum up, prolonged police brutality since June of this year, what protesters facing are live round bullets. Not to mention the fact that some EU member countries that play a part in the brutal Hong Kong police crackdown by supplying police vehicles and weapons. I believe a responsible European Union member state should take the conscience of human dignity into consideration. In fact, Hong Kong can serve as a story to learn from. We were unaware of the Chinese regime intention to impose surveillance technology and control over our economy in the early years. And our economy now is to some extent to rely on China, which makes our battle for freedom and democracy harder. The European Union should stay alert to the reliance on Chinese economic interests. There is no free lunch in the world. Many would say I'm over-worrying or being too skeptical about China. But the truth is China is known for not playing by the rules and has numerous track record for its human rights violation. The failure of one country, two systems in Hong Kong represented the track record of China not honoring the international treaty. Besides, there are hundreds of thousands of Muslims have been detained in camps without trial now. Victims have come forth and say they are forced to take medicine and led to the humanitarian crisis. Therefore, I would appeal to leaders and politicians of European countries to stand with the protesters in Hong Kong, who are fighting for a noble cause of free election. Apart from condemning police use of violence, European countries should reconsider the economic deals with the ruthless regime that never played by the rules. Similar legislative initiatives like the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act and the Magnitsky Act should be executed in member states to stop further human rights violation in Hong Kong, Xinjiang, and other parts of China. Finally, I understand that business leaders and politicians worry that if they directly confront China on its human rights abuse, it could jeopardize future deals. Yet, it's my humble wish the European country also be truthful to the promise of the European Union had made. EU have pledged themselves to defend and advocate for human rights in neighboring and also the world, and promise to never directly or indirectly encourage human rights violation. The European Union, the European Parliament, and the rest of the free world should refrain from turning a blind eye to it. Our position is clear. Hong Kong people are defending not only civil liberties, democratic values, and economic freedom of this international city, standing up against the largest authoritarian regime after the Cold War. We shall continue our fight for democracy, lest Hong Kong become a police state nor an authoritarian state. I'm Joshua Wong, activist from Hong Kong, arrested by police for 8 times, being jailed for 3 times. I will continue the fight with fellow Hong Kongers until the day we enjoy free election to elect our government. I appeal to you to stand with the people of Hong Kong. Thank you.